Namaste, divine beings. Question: who are the Siddha Sages? The Siddha Sages are the awake, enlightened beings yearning beyond consciousness. Siddha means the one who's perfect. When Gautama Buddha was born, the astrologers saw that an enlightened, perfect being was born. So they named him Siddhartha. About 27 years ago, after I had my wake up death initiation, I was now a seeker. While in the Arunachala temple, I asked a spiritual companion of mine who was from Tiruvannamalai, who are the Siddhas? At first he laughed at me, saying, "What do you have in mind when you say a Siddha?" And then just a few minutes later he said, "I can show you a Siddha right now." And he pointed out to a person who was wearing ragged clothes. He looked so unkempt. He did not even look like a sadhu in the traditional saffron robes. And he was walking around the temple. And this friend of mine told me that this is a Siddha who walks around the temple 3 times every day and then goes and sits down and meditates through the rest of time. He never enters the temple. So I had the chance to walk up to him once and ask him, request him to come and eat with us, for which he did not respond. He simply nodded his head and kept walking. And then this friend of mine told me, "No, that is not the way you invite a Siddha master to eat with you or to feed him. There's a particular way." And he walked up to this master and said, "Father, would you bless us with your presence by eating with us?" And he fell at his feet, and the Siddha master then consented. And when he ate with us, it just felt so much blessings. Then was my opportunity to connect with Siddha Sage Ayya, who was meditating in the mountains of Arunachala for 18 years. He drank just a cup of milk a day. He never moved. And one thing I learned of the Siddha of Guru Ayya was that he was so liberated. There was hardly anything that he learned as in books or text. Everything, every information and wisdom and his beingness was from inside out. There was Sadhu Krishnaveni Amma dwelling in the caves of Kalyana Tirtham. And as a lady sage in a tiger sanctuary, to have lived all by herself in that cave meditating was remarkable. And she would mention that she was always the blessed presence of the many Siddha Sages, and she was always protected. Then there was a sage, Mahasavaswami, the Siddha who actually lived in the tiger sanctuary all by himself. And he somehow knew the element of oneness that existed between him and all the living, including the tigers. There was nothing he feared. He went to that tiger sanctuary place within the Nambi Hills, where he would meditate throughout. And when I asked him why he would meditate here, of all the places, he would mention he saw a light orb and millions of light around that orb dancing away. And he felt that this is where all the beings of light congregate. The Siddha Sages are always the we, the many, the beings of light. When we are awake as liberated, we tap into our innermost knowing. Our inner guru is awake. And our I has become the we. Now, as we generate the light within to being the light, we are surrounded by all the beings of light, celebrating our light. Siddha means perfected to consciousness. And this consciousness is awake in each should we seek to want to be. Being the Siddha is being the spirit having this human experience when we know our highest purpose of birth. We know we are the timeless being in time. In our every moment experience, we are the mighty magic of the now. We carry forward less baggage, least of the past. We generate constantly dharma, the higher vibrancies that enables grace for us to be the receiving end of grace, constantly evolving from human, the limited, to angelic, the unlimited. This is the age of consciousness when the seed blessings of all the awake masters are now within each of us blossoming us to the perfection of whom we really are. We are all the beings of light, surrounded by light, celebrating the innermost sacred joys of source unions at all times. In this age of the Siddha is knowing that when we are awake, all that mastery of each moment in uniqueness to the genius of ours awakens. We now are shining from our innermost sun awake. In the Siddha blessings is the presence of light that simply awakens all to be the light. In this light, we are the oneness of consciousness. Om Namah Shivaya.